All right, men, welcome to today's episode of Strong Men, Strong Marriages, how to be more romantic in your marriage. So today's Valentine's Day. You're going to be listening to this on Valentine's Day. If you don't have something really good in place yet for Valentine's Day, there's still time. This year I didn't do as well as I have done in the past at like making something romantic for Valentine's Day. So I'm going to walk you through the process I've used and recommend to you guys in my program to use to bring that element of romance to your marriage, which is important and exciting and creates that fun and passion and flirting that makes a marriage special. So my name is Mike Fraser, MD. I'm a psychiatrist and marriage coach, and I help high achieving Christian men have more intimate marriages. So here's some weekly wins from guys in my program, Strong Men, Strong Marriages. Guys, they are having increasing empathy, patience, and compassion, which is so cool to see. A lot of us as high achieving guys, we can be kind of selfish. If your wife has ever said she thinks you're narcissistic, you probably have some of these tendencies. And so we work every day to really build our empathy and compassion. So, man, guys, they're able to deal with really difficult situations in a very Christ-like way as they're practicing compassion and empathy each day. It's been just so cool to see. Um, Guys who are sharing that they've had intimacy without that feeling of obligation, like that they've had in a long, long time. So getting to where, sex is not just, oh, like, yeah, it's a transaction, but where it's actually connecting and fun. Guys are getting there, right? When they haven't for years. Guys are going months without pornography when they've struggled with it for years and years. Okay. Bringing back fun and flirting, a guy's wife's flirting with him when they were near a separation just not long ago. Okay, guys, they're really having that experience of falling in love all over again with their wife, which is kind of like what we're talking about today. Guys, this stuff's happening every day in the program, so like come join in. Visit strongmenstrongmarriages.com and apply to join. So this can be used. You can be celebrating wins every day. Wife's offering physical touch, right? Offering a massage to her husband, right? When that wasn't the case not long ago. Okay. Guys are actually enjoying the process of listening to their wife instead of trying to fix it. That takes a lot of internal work to be able to do that. But guys are making that shift and that progress. Okay. Guys are hugging as a family to end fights. Okay. Just so cool. One of my favorite ones from this past week was a guy saying he's feeling more free than he's ever felt. And that's really the experience that I want for you guys. You feel free. And he talked about feeling free from other people deciding his worth. Okay. So cool, right? That's what we need to get to really provide love for other people, is when we're not being that mosquito and needing people to build us up, but we already feel full, we already feel free. And then we're out blessing the lives of others and not really needing anything from them, which paradoxically is when we actually get more attention, appreciation, affection, and sex when we're not so needy. Okay. For me this week, my wife and I, and our son's birthday was this weekend, and we just had a really fun family dinner together, just like taking a mental picture of, a really cool moment to all be together as a family, enjoying that fun, laughing, playing games during dinner. Just a really cool moment. And that's what I want for you guys to have, these like great family moments, these great intimate moments with your wife, right? You can get there. Okay. So when it comes to being romantic, right, that's what today's thing is about. And if you're listening to this on Valentine's Day, you haven't planned much yet, right? That means you're probably waiting to the last minute. Okay. And what that really means, or you're just doing something like really basic, really generic. You're just like, oh, I should probably get some flowers from the grocery store on the way home. And, I guess I'll probably get a card on the way home from work today. Okay. Um, or like maybe you're just not doing anything at all. And maybe that's kind of like a payback situation. You're like, well, she's not going to have sex with me today anyway, so I'm not even going to get her anything, right? That kind of punishing mentality that you have towards your wife. Okay. So what all that demonstrates is basically you don't prioritize your wife, right? You're not really thinking about her. You're not really planning things out, right? It just popped up at the last moment. You're like, oh, I'm busy, right? I was too busy. But all that really means, when people say I'm busy, I don't really like that. And I use that excuse sometimes too, not as much because I'm more aware of that now. But if you say you're too busy, all that really means is you prioritize something else over that, right? Well, I'm busy with work. All that really means is I prioritized working over making a plan to make Valentine's special for my wife, right? That's all it really means. Okay. So what women are looking for the most part, to feel like something's romantic, is to know that you're on their mind, right? I did a survey a while back of 500 Christian wives, and that was one of the big things that came up. They said they just wanted to know that their husband was thinking about them. Okay. So when you show up and you didn't do anything for Valentine's Day, or it's something super, you could, like, women can tell when it's last minute, right? And you know that when it's last minute too. Okay. So, when you show up and it's just a last minute thing, I mean, it's better than nothing. It is, but it's not as good as it could be, right? And your wife knows it. She knows she wasn't made a priority when it comes to Valentine's Day or birthdays or anniversaries or date night or whatever, right? Okay. So women are also looking to know that you listen to them. Okay. So if you, for example, get a card that, brings up your wife's mom, and your wife and her mom right now are fighting, okay, that shows you don't really listen. You're not really paying attention. Okay. Okay. Women want to know that you value them. Your wife wants to know you value her. Okay. So again, that last minute card or whatever, it shows, there's not high value on making this a special day for her, or a special date night or whatever, right? Like when you get in the car for date night and you're like, oh, hey, what do you want to do? Right. Or you make a plan for a date night, but you don't get a babysitter. Okay. All of that shows that there's not really a high value. There's not really a lot of thought going into you making things special for her. Okay. Okay. Women want to know that you desire them, right? Your wife wants to know you desire her. So again, when you are being basically lazy when it comes to trying to make things special for your wife for Valentine's or for date night or for her birthday or for your anniversary or whatever, you're basically showing, again, I'm not really putting much effort. I'm not really putting much thought into this, and that really shows like not much desire for her, or at least that you're not really on her mind, that there's not that feeling of love and prioritizing her. Okay. So, what do you need to do instead? What do you need to do to be more romantic? Okay. So, one part of that is just understanding what romance is. So, romance, the definition in the dictionary says it's the feeling of excitement and mystery related to love. Okay. So, that's a part of it. So, you want to, if you can, build in some element of an anticipation. Okay. So, let's say that you, like me, didn't do a very good job this year of preparing for Valentine's Day. Okay. What you could do instead, right? And this is my plan, is tomorrow I'm going to give my wife a card, a thoughtful card, but it's going to kind of talk about what we're going to do for our date night, or hint at something fun we're going to do for date night, right? Now, my wife, she doesn't really love surprises. She kind of likes to anticipate something. So probably I'll just tell her essentially what we're going to be doing for date night so that she can kind of be looking forward to it. Okay. So again, some ideas to involve this feeling of excitement and mystery. So you want to plan a date night, or you want to plan whatever in advance. Again, this does a lot of things for you when it comes to romance. It shows that you actually prioritize your wife. It shows that you thought about her. It shows that you took the time to put some effort into this. Okay, so all of that is romantic because it shows that you love and desire and are thinking about her, which is what she wants. Okay. So again, you want to plan a date night in advance. You want to have an activity and a meal. Typically, is what a date night involves. Okay. So here's an easy way to do it. If you're telling me, Mike, I just don't, I don't know, I don't have any ideas for date night, just go look on the internet. Okay. Just look up date ideas near me, or look up creative date ideas, or look up fun date ideas, right? You even, like, the internet's amazing. You could put in all kinds of things. Okay, date ideas with dancing, date ideas with cooking, date ideas with whatever, right? And the internet will provide you lots of different ideas. You just need to set aside some time to do this, which again is about prioritizing your wife. Okay, there's tons of options. Okay, so again, to bring in that idea of anticipation, right? You planning it, first of all, it creates some anticipation in you. You're like, hey, like, this is gonna be fun. I'm looking forward to it. So you're already kind of excited about it, which brings that feeling of excitement and mystery. And then depending on your wife's personality, you can either kind of drop some hints like, hey, like, I've got a really fun date coming up, you know, be ready, dress this way. So just kind of like, oh, I wonder what we're doing, right? That's that feeling of excitement and mystery. If your wife is like mine and kind of likes to know ahead of time, you can just say, hey, like, here's what we're planning. I think it's gonna be really fun, right? And then she's like, oh yeah, and then she can kind of know what it is and be looking forward to it. Okay. But either way, it invites that element of anticipation, right, and excitement. Okay. Some other things that I've done and seen done over time that women seem to really appreciate. So sending her flowers, but if your wife works, sending them to her at work, right? The nice thing about that is there's like other girls see it, and there is some benefit to like that social proof, right? Of saying, hey, like my man cares about me, and the other girls being like, oh wow, right? There's something about that that is positive for a lot of women, not every woman, but a lot of women. Okay. If that's not your wife's style, right? Or if she just works at home, like sending her some flowers at home, right? Women like flowers for the most part. Okay. Again, not from mosquito cycle, from let me think about her. So like there's certain flowers my wife doesn't like, right? So if I were to send her some flowers that she doesn't like, that would show that I don't really care, that I don't really listen, right? So these things can backfire if you are not actually thinking about your wife. If this doesn't show that you value her and think about her and want this to be something special for her, right? Because if you send her some flowers, but they're not the right kind, it basically just shows, hey, I'm just trying to look like a good husband and not actually take the time to think about and be a good husband. Okay. So another idea, help her complete something she's been working on. Okay, so if she's got this project she's working on, can you be of assistance? Can you either financially or with time or something help her finish that up? Right. So for my wife, we've been working on this. She's been working on this chicken coop for a long time, and the like I haven't done a good job of really prioritizing that. So that could be a good thing that I could do. Right. Say, hey, like we're going to work on this week. Right. So probably that's something I'll do actually this week. So for Sunday, we'll work on that as kind of a family project. So another thing that you can do, right? Think of things that she's currently struggling with, in body, mind, heart, and spirit, and try to address those. This can be a day-to-day thing, or it can be something bigger, right? So physically, if she's, kind of wanting to get something checked out, like my wife right now, she wants to find a new doctor, right? So I can help her with that process. Okay. Mentally, is there something she's struggling with? She's stressed about something. Can I help her finish that project? Okay. Heart can be relationships, can be other things. Okay. Can I make sure she gets time with her friends? Can I, help arrange a meeting with them? Something like that. Can I just listen to her about some things she's been struggling with? Spiritually, where's she at? Can I listen to her there? Can I provide some kind of time for her to do some things spiritually? Can I go with her and do something spiritually? Maybe that's to a church trip or like a special religious place or things like that. Okay. Another thing, what are some of her biggest dreams and how can you help her work towards that? So I'm putting this out there, guys. There's lots of guys that listen to this podcast. If there's anybody out there that has some kind of way that my wife could meet Kelly Clarkson. So Kelly Clarkson, the artist, I have used every means I can think of so far to figure out a way of meeting her. I have not been able to do it yet, but if I could do that, guys, like it would be huge. It would be a game changer. If you can help me do that, like I will help you do whatever I can help you do. Right? This would be a really big deal. So again, anybody out there listening, if you have some kind of connection where you could arrange a meeting, okay, between my wife and Kelly Clarkson, like a sit down, a meal, something like that, like that'd be giant. Again, head over to strongmarriages.com, fill out a contact form, and let me know. Okay, just putting it out there. I would love that. So that's like a huge dream of hers, and I would love to help her accomplish that somehow. Okay. Um, but there's other things too. Like it doesn't have to be like this huge thing. It can be something smaller that she's working towards. And how can you help her do that? So watch some romantic comedies for ideas on this. What are the men doing here? So a lot of times they give some kind of meaningful gift. So one that I'm thinking of, the guy, the wife was like looking for this book that her dad had signed, but she had sold it or someone else had sold it, and so she couldn't find it. So the guy, he like goes to every bookstore in the country basically until he finds it and gives it to her one day. Okay. So stuff like that, something that's going to be really meaningful. It shows that he listened. It shows that he put effort into getting something that was hard for her to get. Okay. So again, it's listening, it's knowing what's important to your wife, and then it's doing your best to help her get that, right? Get those things that are important, that are meaningful. Okay. Another idea, like involve erotic energy. So erotic energy is creative energy, okay? And that can lead to more sexual type of connection, okay? So stuff like cooking together, okay? Dancing together, doing pottery, painting, singing, writing her a song, if that's like a gift that you have, right? These are all romantic things because they involve that creative energy, which is erotic energy, romantic energy, okay? Another idea, make the scene romantic. Okay. So go have dinner, but go have it in a like someplace that you're going to watch the sunset. Go to someplace different. Go to a park, have a picnic, right? Stuff like that. You change the scene up, it makes it a little more romantic. Okay. Go to the beach, right? Head up to the mountains, someplace that's just pretty, right? Go someplace where you can overlook the city lights, right? All these things, they make the scene more romantic, excitement, mystery. Okay. Watch some romantic movies and see what they do and just copy it. Okay. That's how you can be more romantic. So the main idea, guys, it's taking the time, right? It's taking the time to actually prioritize her, to think about her, to think about what's important, and then just like look some stuff up, right? Romantic date ideas, okay, romantic gift ideas. Now, romantic gift ideas you might not get as much, but take my advice there and just think about what's important to her and try to address that or make that happen. Okay. So, in summary, romance is the excitement of feeling of excitement or mystery related to love. Okay. So, the way that you do this, most important, guys, just have an actual plan, right? That shows that you actually know and care about your wife. If you just do that, you're going to do great, right? So, put some time and effort into it. Make it something special that your wife's going to enjoy. Okay. And think body, mind, heart, and spirit. What she's struggling with. How can I help her accomplish some things that are important to her? What she's been talking about, what's something she's wanted for a long time. How can I help that happen? Again, guys, just use the internet. Like, look it up. Date ideas near me, fun, romantic ideas, creative ideas. Again, bringing anticipation. Okay, that brings out in that feeling of excitement and mystery. So you have a plan, and then you either tell her, "Hey, I have a surprise date for us on Saturday," and if that's her personality, be like, "Oh wow, like you actually planned something? That sounds great." Or if your wife is more like mine and she doesn't love surprises, but she still, look, women like to anticipate things. You can just tell her, hey, like, I planned this out. We're going to do this on Saturday and I'm really looking forward to it. Right. And then she's like, wow, yeah, that sounds great. I'm looking forward to it. Okay. You can add in that erotic energy, creative energy. Okay. Cooking. If you're making something or doing something artistic, okay, that's the key. So cooking, doing some art together, going to those like one of paint and wine classes, right? Um, Stuff like that. Okay. Add in a romantic scene, right? If you're going to do dinner, do it at a park, do it at the beach, do it at someplace you can see the sunset. Okay. Go up to the mountains, take a hike, right? Now, look, doing all this, right? This is going to help you because you are becoming more romantic, right? You're bringing in that mystery, that excitement. You're making a plan. You're showing her that she's important to you. You're getting gifts that are meaningful. Okay, so but for this to land well, right? You need to have all three pillars of passionate marriage. We're talking more about the intimacy pillar here, but for this to work, right? You need trust. Okay, which means you need to eliminate the mosquito cycle. You need to get your self worth under control. Okay, so you're not trying to borrow it from her. Communication, you need to be really good at listening, understanding her. A lot of this is actually built on good communication, having good romance, right? Because if you don't really know what's important to your wife, if she's not really sharing that with you, it's going to be hard to get a meaningful gift or plan a meaningful experience if you don't really know what's going on with her. Okay, you're going to kind of miss it. And so, it may just be your romantic date ideas like, hey, you know what? I realize we've kind of disconnected over time. And, this today or this weekend, I just want to spend some time and really, ask some questions to each other and like figure out, well, what are your hopes and dreams? What do you want to accomplish in your life? What's important to you? Right. I realize I haven't really listened to that for a long time and I want to do that. That is romantic because you're building that mental and emotional intimacy. Okay. But, and then from there, we add in that fun, flirty, and passion piece, which is more what we're talking about today. So you need to build all three. And that's what creates a really strong and passionate marriage. Okay. So if you want to come and you want to learn how to build trust, build communication, build intimacy, create that mental, emotional, and physical intimacy with your wife. So you can have that incredible marriage, create a great example for generations to follow. Maybe continue that example in your family, or maybe break that cycle in your family of divorce, or like kind of non-passionate marriages that you're seeing in your family history. Like if you want to be the great example for your generations and for future generations by building this strong marriage, being a strong man, creating a strong marriage, come join us in Strong Men, Strong Marriages, right? We're doing this every day. So head over to strongmenstrongmarriages.com and apply to join. I'll review your application and send you over next steps. All right, men. So stay strong. Head over to strongmenstrongmarriages.com and come join us. All right, stay strong, and I'll see you next episode.